Hi there, welcome back to Bond. Today we are going to be doing a build class focusing on the full body and just really getting back to basics. So we have 7 moves that we're doing today. They are sort of the foundation moves for every other exercise that we do with the weights and often without the weights. So we're gonna just teach you how to make the dumbbells that you have feel even heavier. So I'm using 10 pounds today. You can use whatever you have, and we're just gonna switch up the speed with which we move them to try and increase that resistance a little bit and get even stronger. So we're gonna start with a quick warm up. We have 7 moves, like I said, that we're doing. Just join me in some shoulder rolls. And we're gonna do each one 3 times before we move on. So once we're done with an exercise, we are not coming back to it again, which is always kind of enjoyable for people. To just get it off the list, making these a little bit bigger, warming up your shoulders. And when you're ready, you can come in the other direction. So this class is safe for any stage of pregnancy, but always be listening to your body. If you feel any pain or anything that just doesn't feel quite right, please do take a break, reassess, and come back when you're ready. We're gonna warm up the hips a little bit, just taking one leg and swaying it from side to side. If you need to hold on to a ledge or a wall here to stabilize, you absolutely can. Just letting the joints warm up a little bit before we start to work. So as we go, switching sides, as we go through the class, we're gonna be demoing the moves as we go, so no need to memorize anything or remember for the rest of the class. So, last thing we're gonna do for our warm up is just some hinge movements here, a little bit of a good morning. So feet can be about hip width apart. Think of your torso as one unit. So your head, your shoulders, your tummy, and your back are all one unit, not moving independently from each other, just hinging at the hips, staying nice and locked in on top. You can have a little bend in your knees. We're just stretching out the back of the hamstring and warming up the glutes as we pull up to standing. Nice. Just 2 more here. And then we will get into our first move of the day with the weights. All right, let that go. First thing we're gonna do today is a squat. So I'm gonna grab both weights, rock them up on my shoulders, and since we have 3 sets, we're gonna switch up the pace each time. First one is gonna be just standard. Every time, first set will be standard. So weights come up on the shoulders, feet are about hip width apart, and we're just gonna sit back into that sort of imaginary chair and press through the heels to raise up into that squat. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Come down and you press to rise. Down and press to rise. So as you're doing these moves, think about the glutes working as you pull yourself up, but you're not thrusting at the top. Sometimes we see that where people really squeeze and pull their pelvis forward. Try to remove that if you have it. And your back stays nice and flat, chest is lifted, push into the heels to rise up. We've got 10 more seconds at this pace. You're doing great so far. Down and up for 3, 2, 1. Quick break. And we're now gonna come into a tempo move. So we're gonna go down for 1 and then up for 4. We get started in 10 seconds. The weights can be racked up on your shoulders. If you find this uncomfortable, you can also hold them at your sides. Whatever works for you. In 3, 2, 1. Follow my timing. We come down and 4, 3, 2, 1. Down, 4, 3, 2, 1 to rise. So this is how we build the tension in the muscles. Yes, exactly like that. Nice. So quick down, sit in that chair, press into the heels to rise nice and slowly. Only 10 seconds left with this one. Nice, down, and last one, 4, 3, 2, 1. Quick rest again. Shake it out a little bit. The last one that we're gonna be doing is a quick pace. So we're gonna go down, up, down, up, down, up. Burn out the quads and the glutes a little bit here. Rock the weights up. We go in just 5 seconds. Whatever pace you need to switch to at any time, you obviously can, but here we go. In 2 and 1. Try and stick with me. We go down, up, down, up. The fastest one we've done yet. Really sit back deep into that chair. Press into the heels to rise. Nice. Down, up, down, up. Chest stays lifted. Feel your glutes working. Quads, the front of your thighs. Almost there. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Less than 10 seconds left. Breathe for 3, 2, last one, up to standing. All right, quick break here. We're gonna move into our next move. This time the weights are gonna stay at your sides, so catch your breath a little bit. I will demo for you before we go. So the first move that we're doing, or the move is a reverse lunge. So you're gonna start at the top of your mat, standing nice and strong and tall, and you're just gonna step 1 foot back, lower the knee towards the mat, and then push through the front leg to rise up into standing. So it's the front leg that is working in these, pulling yourself up every time, trying to get the back knee as low as possible. Weights are in your hands. We go in 5 seconds. First round, as you remember, is always just normal pace. In 2 and 1. Step it back, lunge, switching the leg each time. Lunge down and up, down and up. Some tips for this is to think about your feet, where they're landing. So you're not on a tightrope. You don't want to think about stepping directly behind your heel. More like train tracks, down and up, and the front leg does all the work here. Beautiful, chest stays up. You're just moving, sliding backwards through space. And up, down, and up. Almost there for 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Next round, I'm getting out of breath already. Next round, we're gonna slow it down. So you're gonna step back nice and slowly and rise up nice and slowly. Try and aim for 3 seconds for each one. We go in about 8 seconds. So weights are in the hands, facing towards the body in 3, 2, 1. Nice and slow. Step back, you lower and rise. Switch legs, you lower and rise. So if you see a theme building here, we have the move. We do it 3 times. The first round is simple, regular pace. The second round is nice and slow. And the third round is quick. So you can see how different the muscles feel, how you can add in a little bit of cardio just by changing how you are timing these things. We are almost there. Just 1 more rep. Step it back and up. Nicely done. Quick 15-second rest here, and then we come into our quick round. So holding the weights again by your sides or up on your shoulders, whatever feels more comfortable. And we go nice and quick this time. Getting ready here. We go in 3, in 2, and 1. Step it back and up, back and up. That's it. Back and up. Get the back knee nice and low. You might be getting it lower than me because my growing belly does get in the way a little bit with these. Down and rise, down and rise. You got it. Down and rise. Keep going. We're about halfway through this set. You're so good. Down and up, down and up. Whew. Burn it out here. 10 seconds left. Front leg is shaking every time. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that go. Weights come down for just a second. All right, taking a quick break here. We're moving on to our third move. My heart rate is definitely up from those quick rounds. The third move that we're doing is a Romanian deadlift. Very simple and straightforward, but important for your form to be proper to make this the most effective and avoid any injury. So I'm gonna turn to the side to show you. So feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart. Mine are a little bit wider than they otherwise would be just to make room for the belly, the baby belly. And the weights are gonna be held in your hands at the front of your body. You're gonna think about sliding the weights down your legs and then squeezing the glutes and hamstrings to lift. So slide the weights down your legs just far enough until you feel a pull in the hamstrings and then squeeze to lift. Sometimes you can think about pushing your bum straight back towards the wall behind you and standing up. and that torso stays in a one firm unit, like we did in our warm-up. So the head, the shoulders, the neck, the chest, everything is all one. There's no rounding or arching in the spine. So we'll go in about 5 seconds with our first round of deadlifts, RDLs. Here we go, in 2 and 1. Hinge down the front, little bend in the knees, squeeze to rise up. Down and up. So your palms face your body. You can put the ends of the dumbbells together to kind of mimic a barbell. Down and up. If you're getting lower than me because you have increased flexibility, that's wonderful. But remember, we're not rounding the back. Down and up. So your gaze will move with your body. When you're at the very bottom, you might be staring at your mat. And when you're at the top, you're looking at the wall in front of you. 6 seconds left here. Come down, squeeze up. Beautiful. Down and squeeze up. One more. Down and up. Quick rest. Next time we're gonna go down for 4 and up for 1. So it's a slow count down, quick rise up. We have a few seconds to get situated. Make sure your grip is nice and strong on your dumbbells. Standing with feet just a little bit wider than hip width apart. In 3, in 2, in 1. We hinge and squeeze. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze up for 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze up for 1. So really think about your hamstring. So down the entire back of your thigh. Working here. As you slide down, you feel that stretch, squeeze it up. Down, 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 squeeze up. Nice. Squeeze up, last one here. Down, 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 squeeze to rise. Pause, roll out your shoulders if you need to drop the weights for just a second. Last round, you know, is our quick one. We have about 10 seconds until we go. So you can reassess here how you're standing, how you're feeling. You should be feeling it down the backs of your thighs and in the glutes. In 3, in 2, we pick up the pace. In 1, let's go. Come down and up, down and up. Fastest one yet, but do not sacrifice that form. We just perfected it over the last 2 sets. And up, down and up. You're doing amazing. Send the hips all the way back and up. Try to avoid the arch in the low back. Sometimes we stick our bum out a little bit far and get that nice S curve, which is great in other moves, but not right now. Down, squeeze up, down, squeeze up. Less than 10 seconds. Feel the hamstrings working. Tiny bend in your knee, down and up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that go. You can drop the weights down for just a second. So these arm moves that we're moving on to. Legs are pretty much done. Moving on to some arms. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you could do them from your knees, just to take out any momentum that your lower body might be helping you with. I'm gonna do the first move, bicep curl, from standing, and then I'm gonna come down to the mat for the next one. So, grabbing the weights, like I said, bicep curl. So this one's just gonna be standard bicep curl. Palms will face forward, elbows are locked in at your sides, and you're just lifting them up towards your shoulder blades and then lowering them back down. Same thing that we've been doing. First round is regular speed, then tempo, then quick, okay? We go in just 3, in 2, shoulders down, in 1, bicep curl, palms face forward, weights come up and down, nice pace both ways. Try to remove any swing from the torso. If it's too heavy or challenging, sometimes we have the tendency to overcompensate with the upper body, but not here. We're working these muscles. Beautiful. Keep rising them up and back down. Palms stay forward the whole time. You got this. Up and down, up and down. Beautiful, just 5 seconds left of this before we switch up the pace. One more good rep in together. Let's go all the way up and all the way down to the thighs. Pause for just a second. Our tempo move is gonna be quick up, slow down. It's a little bit hard. Sometimes we let the gravity take the weights back down to our thighs. Not today. We are working on it together. Here we go. In 2 and 1. Quick up and 4, 3, 2, 1. Do you feel the difference that makes? Quick up and 4, 3, 2, 1. All of a sudden it doesn't feel like I'm holding 10s anymore. 4, 3, 2, 1. The weight feels like it's increased a ton. Up, and 4, 3, 2, 1. You got it though. Let's stick with this pace together. Up, and 4, 3, 2, 1. We push through the burn. Up, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Speed it up and slow down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful work. Shake that out a little bit. You can release the grip for a second. We're going to take a quick 10 more seconds of rest before we go into our speed round for those. Crazy what the change in timing does. Truly. It is kind of amazing. So when you're ready, grab the weights back up if you've put them down. We go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Speed round. Come up and down. Woo! Up and down. The burn is real now after that tempo round. Just as quick as you can. Keeping your torso, nice strong unit. Removing any sway. You can engage your core if it's starting to sway, if you feel your shoulders moving or you feel yourself compensating with that. Lift up and down. You're doing amazing. Up and down. Whew, it's hard not to get the little bend in at the top. We are almost there though. Up and down. Less than 10 seconds remain. Whew, up and down. Palms are getting sweaty on the weights. Up and down for 3, 2, 1. Let it go. That tires out the biceps very nicely. You can do a quick stretch this way to open them back up. So I said I was coming down to the mat for the next move. We are working on a shoulder press. Coming down to the mat just takes out the ability to be able to quarter squat as you press, and it just makes it really hone in on the muscles that we're working, which are the shoulders. So we're gonna grab both weights again. At any time, if you need to drop down to one weight, you absolutely can, and just hold it on either side like so. But I do recommend starting with both and just seeing how it feels from there. So for the shoulder press, I will demo for you quickly before we go. You're gonna grab both weights in your hands. We're just gonna do a neutral grip. So the weights are about 45-degree angle to the body, resting almost on the shoulders, elbows are down nice and low. And we're just gonna think about pressing them up overhead and back down. Up overhead and back down. So biceps come towards the ears, weights come nice and high overhead, arms straighten all the way at the top, and that is the move. We are gonna start in about 10 seconds. So grab the weights, whether you're doing it from standing, your feet would be about hip width apart, or from the mat like me, you can sit on your bum, sit cross-legged, sit however you like. Here we go in 2 and 1, regular tempo shoulder press up and down. Make sure you're bringing them all the way back down so your elbows come below your shoulders. Your arms are nice and strong at your sides. And neutral grip means we're not opening up like this and we're not closed in front of our face. So we're somewhere in the middle, 45-degree angle, and down, up, and down. You got it. Lift, 10 more seconds at this pace. You're doing so good. Breathe. Maybe you exhale every time you press. For 2 and 1, let it go. For our tempo round, again, we are gonna go quick up, slow down, just to try and fight the urge that gravity has sometimes to take those weights from us. We have about 10 seconds before we go. Shake it out if you wanna change how you're seating, or change how if you're standing, you wanna come down to seating. Seated, here we go. In 2 and 1. So quick up and 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way down, quick up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Push, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make sure you're coming all the way down every time. Elbows below the shoulders. 2, 1. Up, 4, 3. Feel it burn. 2, 1. This really picks it up. Breathe up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Rested here for just a few seconds. Final round. We're coming in quick. You know the deal. Rep it out. Entire 40 seconds. Shoulders will be on fire, and then we'll give them a little break. Okay, we go in 4 seconds. Grab those weights up. Here we go. In 2 and 1. Shoulder press. Come up, down, up, down. Woo! That is real. Up, down, up, all the way down. Shoulders below the elbows. Weights come all the way down. Think about biceps towards your ears. If you're standing, try not to use your lower body as momentum. Hone in on the shoulders. You're more than halfway through this last round. And down, up and down. Breathe. I'm with you. We have less than 10 seconds. And down, up and down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Oh my gosh, I'm sure you could see in my face at the end there. That is one way to burn out the shoulders. So coming back up to standing for our next move, we're gonna move into some rows. Single or double arm, whatever feels better for you. If you have any low back strain or anything, you might wanna be doing a single arm and just alternating every few reps. I will cue you when to switch. But otherwise, we are coming into standing. Feet are about hip width apart, and you're gonna have a nice hinge in the hips. So you hinge in the hips, the glutes are supporting your upper body, and you're just gonna have both weights hanging at your sides. So shoulders are still strong, back, 1 unit is the upper body, torso, neck in line with everything down the spine. And you're just gonna bring those weights up towards your rib cage and then back down. Back towards the rib cage and back down. The muscle we are working with these is our lats, so down the sides of the torso, all in here. So think about grazing the elbow against the ribs, pulling them up. Like I said, if you have any low back pain, you can rest on one knee and do it this way, and that takes some of the pressure off the spine. So I'll tell you when we're halfway through each round and you can switch sides if that's what you're doing. I am gonna use both, and we are gonna get started in about 10 seconds. So grabbing the weights, feet can be a little bit wider than hip width apart. 3 seconds, we're gonna come down, start our first round of rows with that simple pace in 2 and 1. Here we go, row up and down, up and down. Nice. Keep the glutes engaged to protect the upper body, up and down, neck is long, lead with the elbows. If you're switching sides halfway through, that's now, and down, up and down, up and down. Both arms keep going, up and down. You're doing amazing. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Beautiful, 5 more seconds. For 2 and 1, let it go. All right, we are gonna get started with our tempo round in just a few seconds. We are gonna hinge again. We're gonna do 1 second up and 4, 3, 2, 1, lowering, fighting that tempo, fighting gravity as we have been doing. When you're ready, in 2 and 1, hinge down, we lift up, and 4, 3, 2, 1, lift up, 4, 3, 2, 1, beautiful, up, 4, 3, 2, 1, keep going here, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're single-sided, now's the time to switch. 2, 1, can you hinge a little deeper to get more range of motion? Elbows graze the ribs, lead them back. 3, 2, 1, you're doing amazing. Lower down, nice and slow. Your gaze can be on the mat the whole time, keeping the neck nice and long. We are almost there. We've got 4 seconds left. 2, 1, let it go. All right, final round, speed round of these rows. You know, you're just throwing it back and down as fast as you can, whether you're using one arm or both. We get started in 5 seconds, so hinge at the hips. Here we go, last time with the rows. In 2 and 1, let's go. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Back is flat, glutes are engaged. Lift, lower. Squeeze the elbows back. Feel your lats working. Squeeze, lower. Squeeze, lower. You got it. Up, up. If you're on one side, now's the chance to switch. We're about halfway. Breathe. Up, down, down. We're so close. We only have one move after this, and we're done this one in 10 seconds. Up, down, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those weights. The last move is from the mat, which you will be happy to hear. Well, I'm happy that I programmed it this way. So if you are pregnant and you're uncomfortable laying on your back, then this one you should get a few pillows or a block to prop up under your shoulders so you can be a little bit elevated, but we'll only be here for about 3 minutes. So I'm comfortable this way. You do what works for you. So I'm gonna come down to the mat. We are doing some chest presses. We will demo for you right away. Same timing structure that we've been doing the entire time. No point in changing it up now. So coming down to a laying position, knees can be bent, feet are about hip width apart. And again, you have both weights, one in each hand, resting on your triceps right now. So the weights are just kind of chilling here for a second. We're gonna get situated. If you have any pressure in your back from doing that last move, it might feel good to roll it out just a few times before we go. So when you're ready here, this move, weights are staying at the neutral position again, so not too open to the sides and not a narrow grip, so about 45 degrees to the body, like mine are right now, and we're just simply pressing them up above our chest, lowering back down, tapping the elbows to the mat every time before we raise back up. And we get started in just 5 seconds. First round of these, we have 3 rounds and then we are done for the day. In 2, in 1, let's go. Press up and down, up and down. Weights are at that 45-degree angle. Elbows tap the mat every time. Next time, if you wanted a little bit more and you have access to a bench at your house, you could do this move on a bench and let your elbows come down over the sides of the bench to get even more range of motion. And down, up, and down. You're doing so good. We are almost there. Press every time all the way up. The weights might come pretty close together at the top. Feel it start to work in your pecs and in your chest. Almost there, less than 10 seconds to go. Up and down, up and down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go, rest the weights. Tempo round is coming up, fighting gravity as we do. So we're gonna push up and lower down for 4, push back up for 1, lower down for 4. We go in just 3, in 2, in 1. Up and 4, 3, 2, 1. Up, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up. Keep it going at that pace. You're doing so good. Breathe. We have less than 2 minutes left of work in this class together. Push up, 2, 3, 4. Push, 4. Yes, that's it. Keep it going. 5 more seconds here. Up, last one, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest the weights for a second. Final round we are coming into, which is just as fast as you can, still keeping that form nice and strong. So think about sinking heavy into your shoulders, heavy into your tailbone. We go in 5 seconds. Final round of chest presses, final move for the day. In 3, 2, 1. Press up and tap, up and tap. Tap, tap. You got it. Whatever pace is working for you right now, really think about burning it out. You're so close. We have less than 30 seconds, about 23 seconds to be specific, and lower, lift, and lower. Feel it in your biceps a little bit, in your chest, in your pecs. Work it out. Here we go, 10 seconds. Up, down, up, down. Keep the form nice and strong. Weights are above the chest, not above the face or the belly button for 2. Last one. Lower the weights down. You can drop those to either side. I'm gonna roll back to a nice seated position for a super quick cool down stretch. So think about, just for a second, coming into this seated position. One foot can come in towards the other thigh, one leg out nice and long. How does that feel? The difference with the weights, with the timing. I think it's a great way to make your weights feel heavier than they really are. And if ever you wanted to get heavier weights, of course, that's always an option as well, but this is just a fun little change up. Switching legs here. Thank you as always for being here with us. Every time you watch one of these classes, it means so much to me. So thank you, thank you. If you have any questions or comments, stretching out the arms, please leave them in the box below the video. We love to hear from you. When you're ready here, we're going to stretch out for a second and then switch sides. Really good to do some of those doorway stretches as well after this class for the chest, which is when you just go in a doorway, put each arm on it and sort of lean forward, open up the front of the body. I'm just going to send one arm back here, breathing again. And last thing, go to the other side. Make sure you're hydrating, stretching again after class. And thank you again for being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you next time.